welcome everybody to this webinar with my good friend and great leader, Garth Wright. He has been in this business for over 10 years. I can say a lot of great things about him, how great leader he is. But from me personally, there is one thing which really stands out, and it's when we doing presentations or webinars together and Garth speak, then I always want to sign up or always want to do what he's speaking about. So I really believe that you will enjoy this webinar as well as I do all the time when I'm listening to Garth. So Garth, over to you.
Dalibor, thank you so much. And I only have recent fantastic memories of spending a week with you on the incentive trip in Hong Kong, from flying in a helicopter to fantastic meals, just experiencing the radical cross-culture nature of it and seeing, just so many amazing things. It was a wonderful trip. And then, of course, the 7,000 people and the announcement that next year, when they have this convention again, they expect 12,000, and I think they could easily have 15,000. And so it's just something I couldn't even imagine ever missing again. Even though I've been to Hong Kong now 6 times, I'll go back, and if they have it in some other part of the world, I'll go there because I just wouldn't miss it. So, Dalibor, you were a great travel companion for me when I was in Hong Kong. And man, I would travel anywhere in the world with you and know that I'd have a fantastic time.
Thank you, likewise.
Okay. All right, I'll get going on this. I'm going to talk about how to build a global business. And I've traveled to over 70 countries around the world, and there's about, I think, 245 countries, so I still have a lot more to see. But Dalibor and I and some other people in our business, including, of course, the amazing Dan Cato and Joe Garcia, have a vision that every country that will allow us to do business, we will do business there. And the amazing thing about, this company is, you don't have to sign up in every different country that you launch. You're already signed up for the world. And if we go there and do business and those people sign in, they're right in your back office as if they're, across the street. And so it is truly a global business. But I want to talk about some points that are very important for me for building a global business. And one of the things that I love is I love great quotes from the masters. Oh, and I just realized I didn't mention to you that at the end of this webinar, I'm going to make an announcement and give you some details about something which will absolutely, radically change your life in this company, your business, your success, your income. Your 2016 is going to be something really incredible because of what I'm going to tell you about at the end of this webinar. So get ready for that because it's as good as I'm talking about. It is just amazing. So let me go on and tell you, I've always loved really great quotes from the masters. And one of my favorites is, "As a man thinks, so shall he be." This actually has been attributed to a lot of different people, but it was written originally from the Bible, Proverbs 23:7. I grew up in a really poor family in California, and we moved around a lot, and my mother was a single mom with 4 kids, and I mean, we were just really what they call in America poor white trash. We had nothing. And so even though my mom was so positive with me about, you're a great guy, you're handsome, you're intelligent, you're going to do great things, what I grew up with is I looked around and I said, no, we're really poor. And it's going to be amazing if we even get out of this thing alive. I mean, some of the neighborhoods we lived in, I thought, I had to run home from school to keep from getting beaten up in some of the neighborhoods that we were in. And so it was very difficult to think the way that I should if I wanted to be successful. But then I began to read. When I was, I don't know, I guess 21, 22 years old, I began to read the great books that tell you how to change your mind. Now, you may ask, what is he talking about this stuff for? I'm going to talk about how to build a global business. Well, I'll tell you, this is so essential. If you even dream of having a business that's going to do millions and millions of dollars or pounds or euros or rubles or whatever, you got to get this stuff straight that I'm talking about right now, or it's just not going to work. So I read in this book, Think and Grow Rich from Napoleon Hill, whatever the mind can conceive and believe, it can achieve. And I just decided, okay, I'm going to take his word for it, and I'm going to believe incredible things. And I created a book with a bunch of pictures in it. I call it my goal book or dream book of amazing things, world travel and staying in incredible hotels and seeing things that people only dream about and owning cars and on and on. And you know what the amazing thing is, to make a long story short, it all came true, basically. Really. I mean, even a marriage to a gorgeous woman who really loves me and is going to be with me through thick and thin and so on. And now we're foster parents for 3 little children, if you can imagine. We didn't have any kids on our own, but suddenly we got 3 little boys, brothers, and they're 3.5 years old, 2.5 years old, 1 year old, and I'm like, I don't even know how to be a dad. And suddenly I've got 3 kids, but we're doing it. And they're out in the yard right now, playing games with my wife and laughing and having a good time, and you know. And so just incredible things have been happening in my life. So I want to tell you, really conceive and believe what you want to achieve. And everything is really possible. And if you want to build a big business, you got to set some big goals, and you got to believe in them. And if you have a problem believing in your goals, share them with me, and I'll believe them with you. I mean, I will just tell you, you can do that. That's great. That's awesome. You could do more. Let me help you with that. And that's the way, as a leader, if you want to lead a global business, you got to be that kind of leader. You got to be the kind of person that your people can come to you, and they can share with you just amazing things that they want to do. You know, there's a lot of people who join this business, they don't even want to be in network marketing. They join the business because they want to own a restaurant, or they want to become a jazz musician, or I don't know, they want to be an architect, they want to build great buildings, or they want to be a tour guide. I don't know, but they don't want to be concerned about the money. And they need this business to get where they really, really, truly would be happy to be. I mean, I think I'd be happy running an orphanage, if you can imagine. Kids would probably kill me, but what a way to go, you know? And so I've got my dreams too, things that I want to do, that I came in this business for. And my dreams in every way are coming true, and they can be that way for you, and I want to help you to achieve them. So I want to say, begin with the end in mind, as Stephen Covey wrote, and that's so powerful. Just have in your mind that this vision, and make it in color. I mean, make it in detail. Make it incredible. Just have that vision. I am going to be a multi-millionaire global leader. See the world. Stay in incredible hotels. Be around incredible people. Not worry or think about my finances. I will be that person. I even, as the next thing says, act as if you already have what you desire. You know, if you want to recruit great people, then great people need to look at you and know this person has the top mentality and vision, and I can work with and respect this person. And you need to consider, when you go out and share the business, do you look like $1 million leader? Do you dress that way? How's your posture? I mean, I was humiliated when I looked at some pictures from Hong Kong recently, and I saw myself at a dinner. I was sitting next to Vice President Maya Spindler, one of my oldest friends. I knew her before I was ever in NHT Global. And I had horrible posture. I was slumping in my chair. I said, Garth, don't have that happen again. Sit up. You were with a whole bunch of leaders. You were somebody from Latvia and from Czech Republic and from Russia, and you're there slumping like some kind of lump. Sit up and act like the leader that you are. Be the man that you are. And so, you know, I see this stuff. I see my failures. I see the ways that I need to change, but I will change. I just make the decision to act as if I'm already what I desire and that I've decided to be. And you need to do the same. Dalibor.
Yeah, Garth, in these quotes, people would say, if they read it maybe for the first time, and I can remember when I started to read those kind of books for the first time, I was like thinking, so if I want something, I should just think about it all the time and it will come, or what's the story? What would you suggest to people who thinks this way, who never read these books before, and they kind of don't believe that the power behind your mindset and what you think about is so big that they believe only in the action. If I don't do that, then I don't have it. I don't care about what I'm thinking about.
Well, I can tell you, if you don't get it right in your head first, it's not going to come out in your behavior. And of course, the action is absolutely essential. Don't go to some mountaintop and just sit there and try to think yourself to tremendous prosperity and having a global organization. You've got to take action, and I'm really going to cover that in another slide or another point that I'm going to make here. But if you don't have it in your mind first and you don't believe it, what will happen is you go out and try to make something happen, and you will sabotage yourself again and again because deep inside, you don't believe it's really going to come true. You don't believe you will really have that success. And I recommend to people, put yourself in a team, have a small team of people who absolutely believe in you and in your dreams, and they encourage you constantly so you won't slip back into the small-mindedness and the lack of belief and the fear and or the fear of failure, which is a huge one that stops so many people. But instead, they're around you and encourage you, man, we're going to do this together. We're a team. And then absolutely there are actions that you will take, but take them out of the right belief. Okay?
Okay, so let's move to the next slide.
Okay. You know, a lot of people, when they say I want to build a global organization, I think that maybe they're looking around and they're thinking, I'm just going to jump out of my own city and my country and create some magic web page and recruit somebody who's going to make me rich in China or India or some other place. I don't really want to build it here. I don't want to talk with the people that I know. I don't want to make my list. You know, I don't want to go through the hard business of doing it right here and telling my people that I know, please come to this presentation and all that hard stuff. Well, guess what? I have yet in 11 years to meet anybody in this business who just magically sent out some emails or placed an ad on Facebook or something, and boom, they had a couple of multimillionaire producing legs. You know what they all had to do? They had to build it in their own backyard. And when they did it, they kept their mind on the fact that they were going to build a global business, but they acted locally, and they built a fantastic team right there. And most importantly, they built the income necessary to pay for traveling. And I used to tell people, because people would ask me a lot, you know, when do I go and open up a new town? I know people in another city. I know people in another state or another country. When do I go there? I said, well, I recommend you don't go anywhere until your business right where you live can pay for your travel, so that you don't get yourself into a financial hole, that you don't borrow a bunch of money so you can get on planes and look like something big in another place, and you haven't even built it in your own town. So I tell you, whether you're in Dublin or you're in Gothenburg or you're in Italy or wherever you are listening, if you're in Africa or you're in North America, on and on, wherever you are, look around. There's acres of diamonds right where you are. There are people who want success and want financial freedom right where you are, and build it there and build up a great income and then hop on the planes. And when you set your goals, don't set goals that, oh, that was tough, now I'll change it. Oh, that was difficult, now I'll minimize it. No, set your goals in concrete and let the concrete dry and just decide, well, I can't change that. I'd have to dynamite those goals to change them. I am going to make this happen. And don't let people around you convince you otherwise. If they start trying to do that, just say thank you very much, shake your hand, get up and walk away, because they're going to take you right out of your dreams. Set your goals in concrete and then go out and make it happen. And when you go out to make it happen, you got to know the game that you're in. I like that expression, but on the other hand, it has some negative connotation because people think, oh, network marketing is kind of some get-rich-quick game. Not at all. It's a profession, and it takes some years, I hate to say it, but it takes some years to get really good at it. And that's hard because there's a bunch of rejection between now and getting really good at it. But if you go through that, then suddenly you can get in a position like I have, where I can look at one leg and see all these strong people that are depending on this business full time. I look in the other and there's a bunch of people in that leg. And we're in NHG Global. We only need that to happen in 2 legs, not 5, not 10, not 25, And when you've got that in place, then, wow, that is such a sense of security, of financial security. How long do you think that people are going to love skincare and nutritional products and then revolutionary products like the one that I'm going to talk about at the end of this call? Like forever, which means your income is going to keep coming like forever. And I'll quickly throw this in, you're not going to live forever. Everybody dies. But when you do, you can just will the business to your family. And it can take care of them. That's amazing. That is so wonderful, not to be dependent upon the Social Security or some kind of retirement plan that somebody tells you've got to minimize your whole life to get some money when you get older and you can't live well. It's crazy. We're not in that business. Know this game. Become a pro. Study and practice to become a pro. I've got people in my business who don't know how to sign up in the back office. They run to someone else and say, hey, I've got somebody who wants to sign in. Can you do it for me? Because I don't know how, or I don't know where to put them. Or I can't explain this product because I don't actually use it myself. Well, that's not a professional. A professional knows their company, knows their business, uses the products in our business. They know how to do a great presentation. They can flip open their phone, their tablet, their computer anytime, start the PowerPoint, and go straight into signing that person up in the back office. Do you know how to do that and do it very well? Or do you depend on somebody else when you go to the weekly meeting? That's crazy. Become a pro in this business, and then you have a chance of having this big global business that you want. And then plan your work. Otherwise, you will lose days and hours through procrastination. I hate procrastination. I hate when I put stuff off, when I don't look at my schedule, when I don't do the work that I know that I need to do. And a priority of that work needs to be activity that recruits new people in my business. That's massive. Make sure you, as Dan just reminded me in a recent email, make sure you and your activities and working with your people is constantly recruiting great new people in your business. And that'll help set up your financial security. And about paying the big price to get the big reward, all I can tell you is, during my first year in this business, my schedule was like, wake up at 6, go out, get in somebody's car, they would drive me to a country nearby. I was in a little country surrounded by a bunch of countries, so I could be in another country in 2 hours, doing a presentation, then I get in the car, go to another place, go to a home packed with people, that weekend, big meeting, go to bed late because it's earlier in America and I've got to do calls with Dan and Joe and so on. I mean, I was just exhausted, but I thought, wait a minute, massive action equals massive results, and I don't want this to take forever. I don't want to drag this out. I don't want the slow road to success. I want to get there. So I just put in the hours, and after a year, I kind of collapsed. And then I got back up again, and Tomasz Knapek came into my life, and he had me working myself half to death. And people like Dalibor came in. And now we've got people like Helen and Sonia and Andreas and Twana and on, you know, these amazing people, and Elena in Russia and Tamara and, you know, I could just, Yoon in South Korea, I mean, I could go on and on. These people that would love me to work 28 hours a day. But I'm having a great time, and I have some amazing vacations. I can show you the pictures and videos, and my wife and I just love seeing the whole world. So if you want to see the whole world with your family, and if you want to have the rewards, massive action equals massive results.
Well, Garth, for me on this page, the word concrete is very important, because I can remember years ago when I started in NHT, I saw the video with Joe talking about power of commitment, and he says you have to put your legs into concrete. So if you just imagine what it does to you, that you cannot move basically, I think it's very important to get into this mental state that yes, I'm here, I'm not moving anywhere, no matter what happens, I'm gonna make it. And this is what I think is very important for people to understand if they want to achieve some results.
Wow, that is huge. And you have really been an inspiration to me. How whatever happens, no matter what it takes, you're doing this and you're sticking with it, you're committed to it. And it ends up causing me to say, man, Garth, you can't retire now. Look at Dalibor. We're having so much fun. You got to keep going. So you're a great example for me.
Okay, let's move to the next page.
Okay, this really absolutely, if you want to build a global organization, you know, I named off a whole bunch of people. I apologize for the people that I didn't mention. Giancarlo in Italy, for example, and whoever else that I left out, Milena in Slovenia and others, you know, but I just want to say this is a team effort. And if you don't build teams, if you think that you're going to do this on your own, no man is an island. It just will not work. You need to become a team player. You don't have all the gifts. Just remember, I mean, maybe you suck at public speaking. Maybe you're awesome, though, at telling people about the products. Maybe you're great at setting up the projector at the big meeting or being at the door and greeting everybody else. But nobody does it all extremely well. I sure don't. I mean, I could name some people in my organization who can run circles around me when it comes to explaining how the products work. But I've got my strengths too. You need a team. It is a team effort. And one huge part of the team is your upline. You know, I joined the business, and I first started doing the business in June of 2004. Before the end of the year, Dan Cato was with me traveling around to different countries doing presentations on fire. Soon after that, Joe Garcia came. Then they came again and again and again, and wherever my business expanded, they said, okay, Garth, when do you want us to come? Set it up. You know, put 100 people, put 200, put 500 people in the room. You know, we're going. Let's make this happen. And those guys are incredible. So you want to use them from day one, and they want to help you. The hours that they'll put in and their ability to help people at every level just staggers the imagination. I will just tell you this flat out. I would not have the success that I have today and the future that I have without Dan Cato and Joe Garcia. Period. These guys are amazing. And they can go physically where you can't go. If you saw my schedule, And then the people who want me to do events in different places, I can't go. But Dan or Joe will go. And people in wherever you are in Europe, like Tomasz or Dalibor or Andreas or Tuano, whatever, people will help you and they will go in physically places that you can't go. There's only 24 hours in a day. Joe Garcia and Dan are going to be doing events for me in Russia within this next month or two, and I can't go there because I'm going to be in South Korea and Chicago and Atlanta and Göteborg and Dublin and on and on. Man, this is a team effort. Get that locked into your brain, and as soon as you can, find some dynamic local leaders that you can have in your team. Build a leadership team. Do it together. It's so positive, the energy, and they become the dynamic local upline leaders for your team who they can go out and do presentations for. So this is just really important.
Well, to this point, I can only say that you are 100% right, because when I got started, this was one of the main advantages of network marketing for me, that I'm not alone. I don't have to do everything myself. And on every training I do with my people, I always tell them the one who bothers me the most will make the most money. So I always bothers my uplines, and I don't want to say it in the bad way. Of course, all my uplines encourage me to bother them all the time. So guys, whoever is on this call and you just got started, it's not bothering us. It's our commitment to you to help us, right?
Absolutely right.
Okay, let's move.
Stop bothering me, Dalibor.
Okay.
Next.
Yes.
All right. You got to use every tool that's available to build a global business, and there are a lot of them. And for example, this morning I was on a Skype call with Dalibor and Tomasz. Then an hour and a half later, I was on a Skype call with Helen in Sweden. And then I did another call with Dalibor, and now I'm doing this webinar with you. I mean, and I can't tell you how many times that I have had a fantastic prospect, and I've said to Dan and Joe and others, I've said, hey, can you call this person? Here's the experience that this person has. Could you please help with this? And they do it, and they get on there, and it's live. And they can do video if they're not embarrassed about how they look. They'll turn on the video, and man, you can really connect that way. I know it's not face-to-face, but it's a powerful, powerful tool. Use it. We've used this tool, Skype Video, where a room full of people come together and watch on the big screen and done presentations. And I've been in Kazakhstan or Russia and looked up at the big screen and seen Dan or Joe doing Skype call videos, and they're in Canada or Florida. So it's an incredible tool. If you want to build a global business, use Skype. I know there's a lot of different things out there, but let's try to get universal and decide we're going to use Skype. It's fantastic. Get your whole team on it. And then with the internet, there is no geographical boundary whatsoever. I mean, literally, you can be doing presentations, and Dalibor could tell you story after story of presentations that he has done all around the world. And he's very effective, and I've learned from him. I'm a student of his, in learning how to use Google and Facebook ads and landing pages, using LinkedIn. Joe's just tried to educate me so much, and I'm so slow in picking this up, but I'm doing my best and getting better and better at it. Using LinkedIn, and I love to cut the videos and put them out there. You probably saw a couple promos that I did recently from Hong Kong, for Atlanta, and for the Chicago events. And then here we are on this webinar. And you can schedule these things anytime. I mean, it could be 2 o'clock in the morning your time, but you could be speaking to some people in Japan in the afternoon. And I mean, you're building your business. So the internet has no geographical boundaries. It'll go places you may never even be. I mean, the reality is, I got thousands of people in my business I've never met, and I may never ever speak to, but I feel connected to them. I've seen and met some of them on Skype and on these calls and through the web pages and so on. So it's amazing. This one is really big. Cast the vision, and the visionaries will come. What it means is, when you get in front of people, you've got to share the vision and do it with confidence. And if you do, people who want to be city and even country leaders, they will get excited by what you're doing, by what you're sharing. They'll get the vision with you, and they'll come to you after the meeting and they'll say, I'm going to open up, I don't know, India. I'm going to open up Puerto Rico. I'm going to open up whatever, Philippines, Indonesia, etc. They will come to you and say, I've got contacts there. I'm going to do this. You cast the vision. I'm going to be a global leader. But you got to say it. You got to share it. You got to get it out. Don't hold it in. Don't hold the diamonds on the inside. Let them out so that they sparkle on everybody. And then the ones who can really grab onto them will come up to you and talk to you about it. And then you're always building for the next event. This is how we spread the business globally, events and events and events. And you just have to decide, maybe there's a bunch of hype and a bunch of fanfare and music and crazy stuff and all these people, and I don't like that. Well, learn to like it and learn how to put them on yourself and become an event leader, a person who makes them happen, and it'll help you so much in being successful in this business.
Yeah, Garth, you know that I'm a big believer of all this internet stuff. Maybe a few years ago I was believing it even too much. Now, after all these years in the business, I just realized that doing everything over the internet is absolutely not possible without willingness to meet with people and to work on yourself and all these stuff. All these basics which we have to do in order to establish the relationship. Internet is absolutely amazing tool to reach out people we would never be able to meet in our life, but then we have to be ready to get in touch with them, speak to them, and because if we don't have any experience with speaking to people, if we don't have enough experience with doing presentations face to face, doing one-on-ones, doing presentations in the city where you live, then even if you find somebody who is a big networker, he will probably not be interested because you will not be able to deliver the whole message. You will not be able to impress him enough or share the experience with the company and with the products, with the business, good enough to make him interested. So I'm a big believer in doing stuff over the internet, but also I believe that we have to keep doing all these basics, otherwise it wouldn't work.
Yeah, and we have to have the actual touch with other human beings physically. We have to be in the room with them. We have to have the great VIP dinners. We have to stand on the stage next to them and hug them when they achieve a level in the IRP or receive some kind of award and they're honored. We have to build real person-to-person relationships.
Yep. Okay, let's move forward.
All right. Now, I'm going to wrap this up by talking about, because we just finished talking about you're always building for the next event. My next event is happening very soon. On October 1st, I get to go to Chicago and work with the incredible Andreas Papakostas. And if you are his Facebook friend, you know that there is nobody who puts out more positive, strong, go-for-it messages than Andreas does. And I know that when I'm standing next to him on the stage there, I'm going to feel like, is this guy really in my organization? I mean, do I really have someone like this who's so fired up and so strong in my business? And I'm really looking forward to that. If you can go, it's an evening presentation on a Thursday evening, but we're going to have an amazing time, and I'll stay up all night. If you come to that and you want to spend some time talking with me, I'm just there to be exhausted and have a great tour. And then from there, I'm going to Atlanta, and on Saturday, October 3rd, I'm doing an event with Twana. And from my talking to Twana, I haven't met her face to face yet, but from talking to her on Skype and seeing the totally professional way that she always looks, and how quickly she replies, and how excited she is about this business, that's going to be a great event. I'm looking forward to that, and I love the South, and I know the food is going to be incredible while I'm there. Got to watch that. It's going to be great. But what's awesome about that event is that I'm going to be there on a Saturday, and we'll do the presentation in the morning, but then I'll do a quick start training, we'll have a lunch break, but in the afternoon, I have like 5 hours to pour out the best possible training that I can from all these years of experience in the business. And when that's over, I'm going to be there. I'll just stay. If you will fly in or come to that event or whatever, I'm going to spend time with you no matter what it takes. If there's any way that I can help you, whether you're in my organization or not, I just want to help people to be successful.
Okay, so let's move to Europe.
Dr. Thompson is going on a roadshow. Dr. Thompson is a guy who invented Allura, and way back in January of 2001, before I was with the company came out with what we call Allura today, and did incredible sales because we had a product for women. We had a product that, instead of saying there's only something that enhances intimate relationships for men out there, there's something great for women, and it's totally healthy and totally natural. This guy has more than 50 patents on different inventions, some of them you would be very familiar with, that have made him a fortune. And he's totally into radical clinical studies, making sure everything is natural, awesome, fantastic, healthy for you. I had a 10-minute talk with him about something that I had a problem with in my health years before. He just immediately diagnosed it, and it really, really helped me out. Great guy. He's going to be in Dublin, Ireland, with Sonia and her team, and many top leaders and corporate leaders on November 8th. The ticket for that is already in the back office, so you can buy it, and it's at a discounted price right now. So grab your ticket, plan to be there. There's ways to qualify for that as well, so that your event ticket, or even your hotel, or even your whole trip is paid for. And a week later, that's going to be on a Sunday, and a week later on a Saturday, Dr. Thompson is going to be in Göteborg, Sweden, with Helen and her team, and more corporate leaders and upline leaders and so on, doing great training, and that's going to be also a fantastic time. So just plan on being at one or go to both. Be crazy. Just go for it. And get people in the room, because with that kind of environment, people are going to sign up just so fast. They're going to be awesome.
Yeah, and I would like to encourage you to check with gynecologists and doctors, because these are the people who would be very interested in meeting with Dr. Thompson, and he really loves to answer all the detail-oriented questions and questions from doctor professionals. So I already found a few gynecologists in Dublin, so it will be a great opportunity for you to get some professionals on this event and get them interested in the product.
Okay. We have one more, I think.
Yep, this is
what do I mean? Just everything. I told you at the beginning of the call that I was going to tell you something that was going to radically change your whole financial future, that your 2016 is going to be absolutely amazing, and I'm going to explain it right now. When Dalibor and I were in Hong Kong, on the first night of the big meeting, those 7,000 people, Dr. Thompson got up, and he explained a new product that is coming out. It's already in China, and it's going to come to the whole world. And it's based on the same principles and the same basic content and so on as a great Allura product. But imagine, we have a product called Allura. It's like the male version of Allura. Imagine if you could formulate that product so that it was 8 times more powerful. And Dr. Thompson explained to us that in clinical studies for this new product, which would be called Allura Lux, for this new product, that in their clinical studies, they discovered that when men use this product consistently, that they averaged a 30% enhancement. What it means is they were 30% bigger. Now, I have a hard time talking about Allura when I go to presentations, and now I'm talking about a product for men, but I'm so grateful that we have something amazing for both. But here is a product that really does change everything. This is like going back to January of 2001, launching the company with Allura. Now we're launching Allura Lux, 8 times more powerful, 30% average increase in size in the men who tried it in clinical studies, some a little less, some a little more. This is a lifetime change. You just keep using this product and it makes a radical, I don't know how to explain it, but Dr. Thompson will do a great job wherever you happen to see him. And this product, when you have a product like this and you do a presentation, no matter how you get around to explaining it, people's eyes will just get big and they'll go, you really have a product like that? And you have a marketing plan that's so simple like that, and that pays to infinity and pays so much, and people can make such incredible income, and it's lifetime, and they can travel the world, and all the while they're helping enhance relationships and people's health, because we have this whole line of products that are incredible products. And now we have this, and then Dr. Thompson just happened to add in Hong Kong, oh, by the way, we've also formulated this product so that women can use it on their breast, and they get bigger naturally in a healthy way. So they increase several cup sizes. Well, forget about plastic surgery, forget about all this bad drugs and chemicals and everything else. We've got what changes people's lives in a dramatic way. The hottest story. Nobody's going to come out with anything like this. It's going to take a long time for them to formulate, do clinical studies and everything else. And we've got it, and it's coming out. And at the European events, Antonella has promised that she will have a sample with her, and she will explain everything about it and how it works. And of course, Dr. Thompson will be there, and he's the master of this. So wherever you are in the world listening to this, I want you to know I've been in this business a long time, and I have never seen anything that changes the dynamic like the introduction of these 2 products, as well as everything else that we have. And so it really does change everything if you're ready to jump in and go for it, because 2016 will be the year that you will remember all your life, where the whole economic dynamic for you, financial freedom, world travel, etc., it can all change. But the choice is yours. You're going to have to take action. Get your head straight, and then walk out the door and make it happen. So Dalibor, thank you very much, and everybody who listened to this call.
Yeah, thank you very much, Garth. And for everybody who came late, I can see that some people came later to this webinar. Don't worry, we have recorded everything, so we will send it out. You will receive a link, so you can spread it out to your team, so everybody can watch this great webinar. Thank you very much, Garth. Okay, thank you, everybody. Good evening, and looking forward to meet you again on some of the next webinars of NHT Global. Thank you. Bye-bye.